So I had a woman comment on one of my Instagram posts recently that was talking about pushing during labor. And she asked, I'm not pregnant yet, just trying to learn as much as I can right now. What do you mean about not having to push? Everything I see makes me think you have to push super hard to get a baby out. Am I wrong? And this really is a topic that comes up a lot. So I'm going to talk about it in this video. I'm Bridget Tyler, a childbirth educator, birth doula, and mom to 3, and I'm on a mission to help parents just like you have empowering pregnancies, births, and postpartum periods. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and to hit the little bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. All right, so let's dive into pushing during labor. Specifically, we're going to talk about the fetal ejection reflex. In a physiologic labor, when mom is able to labor in whichever position she chooses, she feels safe and in control, she will reach a point in labor where her body will involuntarily push out her baby for her. It is an undeniable urge to push, and it's next to impossible to stop it. It's similar to needing to sneeze or vomit. It's not you doing it, it's your body, the muscles and organs inside of you independently doing it. This involuntary pushing will happen during the contractions when baby is low enough in the pelvis to trigger this reflex. And the muscle that is doing all this work is the uterus. Adrenaline is another big factor when it comes to the fetal ejection reflex. Throughout labor, adrenaline is slowly creeping up. We don't want it to jump up suddenly and get out of control, because if it does, it kills oxytocin, which drives labor progress. And if that sounds like a bunch of words that have no meaning to you, you need to take my Built to Birth program to equip yourself with knowledge about how labor works so you can feel empowered and ready for a happier, healthier, easier birth. But going back to adrenaline, at the end of labor, adrenaline does spike, and this is good and normal. At this point, adrenaline tells your body it is time to get this baby out, and it actually aids that ejection reflex that pushes baby out of mama's body. So why does it seem like moms have to push till they're purple in the face to give birth? Well, number one, many providers prompt mothers to push earlier than mom is actually ready to. Remember, when the baby is far enough in the birth canal, that reflex can take over. The problem is, many providers tell moms to start pushing as soon as they're 10 centimeters dilated, which doesn't always happen when the fetal ejection reflex kicks in, and the baby is actually low enough in the birth canal in order for that reflex to kick in. So, for example, when I was able to support my sister for her birth, she was 10 centimeters dilated, but her baby was still high in the pelvis. So we did several different positions to open up her pelvis so that baby could come down, which her baby eventually did. However, that fetal ejection reflex still hadn't kicked in when her midwives had asked her if she wanted to start pushing just to help speed things along. My sister pushed for about an hour before the fetal ejection reflex kicked in, and then once it did, it was just several pushes before her baby was born. So just because a mom reaches 10 centimeters of dilation does not mean her body is ready to push. Yes, the baby has the physical space to move out of the uterus once mom is fully open and thinned out, but pushing too early can just wear mama out since she doesn't have the involuntary pushing efforts of her uterus. In general, it's best if mama can listen to her body's signals and wait to start pushing. Another factor that can impact the fetal ejection reflex is the epidural due to its impact on labor hormones. As I said earlier, adrenaline slowly increases during labor, and this is because of the intensifying sensations as labor progresses. With an epidural, because sensations from the waist down are numbed, it can prevent that spike of adrenaline at the end that aids in the fetal ejection reflex. This is one of the reasons why pushing with an epidural can take longer, be less effective, and more likely to result in forceps or vacuum delivery. Thirdly, mom's position can also impact how effective the fetal ejection reflex can be. Because of the shape of the birth canal, positions that get mom off her back are going to work better in general with gravity and the fetal ejection reflex to help baby be born with less effort from mom. So going back to the question that woman asked at the beginning of this video, do you have to push during labor? A lot of times, no. You can breathe your baby out and your body will do the work thanks to the strength from the uterus and the fetal ejection reflex. However, a lot of moms enjoy pushing with their body and they'll do it by bearing down and vocalizing with grunts, groans, or low yells. There's no wrong way to listen to your body. However, if you want to reduce tearing, learning to yield to the body's reflex and lessen the force of your voluntary pushing is very helpful, and breath work is a big part of that and something I teach you in the Built to Birth course, which is linked up here in the corner of this video and below in the description. I also want to add that sometimes active pushing from mom is necessary, either because of baby's position or because mom has an epidural or a position mom has to be in. The big thing when it comes to pushing is to wait till mom can feel the fetal ejection reflex, or at least till there's constant pressure during and between contractions, having her choose when to breathe as she pushes so she's not depriving herself or her baby from much needed oxygen at this vulnerable time, and allowing her to find upright positions that make pushing more effective. So hopefully, if you didn't know about the fetal ejection reflex before, or you were confused about pushing altogether, you know a little bit more. And if you want to be even more prepared for your birth, because there is still so much to learn, check out the free mini birth class linked right here on the screen and down in the description below. Thanks for being with me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.